Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Thursday, June 5th, 5:34 p.m. coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Stay in the market. We're still in uptrend. Market leaders with the green arrow, short term above the 21 EMA, actually 30 days above now. With the green arrow, we are in a power trend. The medium term trend is up. We have been living above the 50-day, and the long term trend is slowly moving towards that longer term uptrend as well, with the 200-day moving average sloping up. Quite an eventful day today in the markets, in the world of politics. What happened today? The main summary is that Elon and Trump divorce fuels a distribution day in the markets and a reversal. 21 over 21 day down 1.92%. 9 stocks up, 12 down. Big 8 down 1.88%, with Tesla being a highlight, down 14% on the day, and at the lows down over 17% on the highest volume ever. And we'll definitely talk about the Tesla chart, the price action, and go in depth on the Elon and Trump feud as well. RG8 down 0.58%, S&P down 0.53%, RSP down 0.27%, Q's down 0.75%, QQEW down 0.54%, Dow Jones down 0.25%, mid caps about flat, down 0.15%, small caps down 0.05%, global 60/40 equities bonds down 0.28%, and GROTECTION and Turbo both got caught with Tesla and Palantir sell-offs today. So GRO down 0.91%, and Tesla and Palantir being our two biggest positions, over 10% weight. We cut both of those. Turbo down 1.91%, and we'll get into the positions in more detail later. So starting off with S&P 500, as always, the daily chart. We had a morning push into the 6,000 level, which we rejected by 30 cents, and saw a bearish engulfing reversal so far back into this 15 to 17 day range. Elevated volume, which means distribution. But this is fine right now. Rejecting the whole 6,000 number is quite expected, especially with the volatility in politics. Still above the 21 EMA, far above, and above the 200-day as well. RSP, same thing, reversal back to the 150 and 200-day distribution day as well. But it's just one day. Leaders are acting okay, and we'll continue monitoring the health of the leading groups and leading stocks, as that is our best tell of the health of the market. Qs, same thing, bearish engulfing, huge distribution day as well into this 530-ish area, which got rejected. We might just need to build more sideways above the 21 EMA and this put in a better right side. But as you can see, we do have a distribution day here, one here, one here, one here. So that's 4 within the last 3 weeks. If leaders start deteriorating, that is definitely a warning sign. QQQE tried to break out of this handle. Reverse so far. No distribution day though. Dow Jones back below the 200-day SMA. Distribution day. Mid caps continues to build this flag. Acting fine. Russell also pretty much flat. Continues to build this flat-based, flat top flag. Break out above that, and we probably head to the 200-day. VIX, despite the volatility and despite the Elon Trump feud, VIX is only up about 5% and still below 20, which is a good sign. Dollar still remains weak, below the 100 level. Yeah, people don't want our dollars right now. People also are less inclined to buy our bonds with the volatility, with the trade wars, with our politics, and more. Gold continues to build this base here. Looks really good here. And down today a little bit, 0.5% distribution day, but it's a nice little flat channel. Gold miners tried breaking out, but reversed, ended up becoming a reversal on volume. We don't want to see that fall through to the downside and turn into a massive failed breakout. That would be no good. Silver, huge breakout, extraordinary strength on massive volume. It was up 3.5% today. Perhaps silver narrows in on its gap between gold in terms of market cap ratios. And it's one of the largest ratios or widest ratios ever in history. So maybe that closes in. Bitcoin trading like a risk asset today. Sell off below the 21 EMA on volume. We definitely want to see this hold, and this correlates around the 100,000 level. And then bonds, sold off a little bit today as the yield rose. BND was down 0.19%. TLT is actually up 0.07%. 30-year was down a little bit, and then 10-year was up a bit, and that's what caused the discrepancies in those durations, in the various durations between the 10 and the 30-year. So that's it for the tail of the tape. That's it for the inter-asset correlation. And now let's jump into the tail of the tape. This is where things will get a little interesting once I get to news. Let's start off with sentiment. VIX stays below 20. Fear and greed rose 2 to 58. AAII nearly stayed flat, pretty much flat. And then NAM retreated a little bit, -7 points. This should be a minus, not a plus. We're still operating under the bull case as we're trending above the 21 EMA. And the big news today is the Trump and Elon feud and divorce. So let's start off with a backstory. Before the election, Elon decided to back Donald Trump for the president of the United States because he believed he was the better candidate versus the Democrat Party that were eroding just what he believed to be the American way of life, liberties, freedoms, freedom of speech. And he believed that Trump would give him a chance to start Doge and try to bring the debt and deficits under control. And so far, that has not materialized, even though Doge estimated has cut about $150 billion in wasteful spending. This new congressional bill, the big beautiful bill, was estimated to increase the deficit 2.5 trillion from 2 trillion and increase our overall debt by 5 trillion. And that was completely anti what Elon Musk wanted or desired for the country as a voter and as a supporter and endorsement for Trump. So that started the feud. Let me bring away the tail of tape for a moment and start on Elon Musk's X page. As you can see, in an interview with Fox a while ago, he said that I think was the real wake-up call for me was seeing that the interest payments on the national debt exceeded the Defense Department budget, and he just doesn't want America to go bankrupt. And he continues to echo that over and over again. And this is huge. The interest on the national debt, which means just the payments alone on our debt, is above our defense budget, and it's over $1 trillion. And some historians, especially economic historians like Niall Ferguson, has studied history in past empires and civilizations. And when the national debt interest payments exceed defense budget, usually that leads to the end of the empire. The timeline can be extended, but it's never a good sign. And Elon Musk continues to say that if debt continues to rise, interest rates continue to rise, we can get to a point where all of our tax revenues, tax receipts, just go towards paying interest, and there'll be nothing left for Medicare and Medicaid, Social Security, and other government programs. So if you scroll up on his Twitter, you can see he continues to echo everything about debt and deficit. He left the Democrat Party and sacrificed a lot to support the GOP, and now they're turning against him. So he's feeling betrayed. He's feeling like they're not loyal to him, that they turned their backs on him. And you can see here, he's quoting and bringing out receipts of previous tweets and posts from Trump about the debt, about the deficit. Trump said in 2013, "I cannot believe the Republicans are extending the debt ceiling. I'm a Republican and I'm embarrassed." And Elon Musk is just bringing that to light here in wise words. So continue to scroll up. Again, he's echoing the sentiment. Musk is frustrated. He believes the bill needs to be thrown out or revised. Again, another quote post of Trump from 2012. And he said, "No member of Congress should be eligible for re-election if our country's budget is not balanced. Deficits are not allowed." And he just being a little childish here, bringing out past statements to just make his story and make his point. Tweets, "Slim, beautiful bill for the win." And really, it starts to escalate here. He says, there's a Trump clip about the big, beautiful bill. And he kind of states that Elon is kind of mad that they're cutting the EV and solar credits. And he said that Elon knew this a while ago. Elon responds with whatever. And he says here, "Keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair. But ditch the mountain of discussing pork in the bill." It goes on to say that in the history of civilization, there's never been legislation that have been big and beautiful. So when we run up the debt, that leads to the end of civilization. And he says, either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. They believe slim and beautiful is the way. So he tweets that, and Trump is hearing these comments live as reporters ask him because Elon Musk's posts are disseminated quite quickly. And you can see they start to get into it. Trump says he's disappointed with Elon. He's helped him a lot, and he knew that EV mandate would get cut. Elon says he's never even seen the bill, and he says probably no one in Congress has even read it. And it starts to escalate more and more. He continues to repost other accounts that are posting his content about Trump disregarding the deficit. And once again here, where's this guy today referring to Trump in all of his posts about the debt and deficit in prior years? Like this one right here, that congressmen should not be re-eligible for election if the country budget is not balanced. He re-echoes this again with a point from Jason, and now Trump continues to go at Elon a little bit. He says he believes he still would have won, and he said he worked hard at Doge, and he thinks he misses the place. He starts to imply a little bit. I don't know, for some reason, Elon's developing TDS, and Elon retweets this. And let's see when it really, really starts to escalate and causes market volatility, and especially Tesla, to head down and put in the worst market cap loss, $150 billion loss in a single day in Tesla's history. So Elon Musk says without Trump would have lost the election, Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be this, such ingratitude. And this just sparks more and more back and forth. Let's continue higher. And he continues to go at Mike Johnson as well, because Mike Johnson previously has tweeted about deficit and debt like in 2018. Congress has to stop this endless cycle of out of control deficit spending. And as we continue up, Elon responds to Trump's Truth Social post. Elon is wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted. They knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. And here goes Elon Musk. Such an obvious lie. So sad. So this divorce continues to escalate. It is heated on both sides. And this is really where Elon goes to the wall. He says, time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. And that really shocked the world. You can see 225,000 retweets, 635,000 likes. Trump continues, replies. He says, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. And he says, I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Elon's response with, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. And bear in mind, this is the Dragon spacecraft that essentially rescued the astronauts that were stuck in space for 8 months since Boeing completely failed. And this is really the only way to get to and back from the International Space Station for the United States. So, yeah, this is escalating. And clearly investors and institutions are not buying in it. And that is why I want to continue on, and we'll bring up the Tesla chart later. Back to the tail of the tape. Today's keys, we're watching the S&P versus the 15-day range up until 6,000. We rejected that. The Qs range up until 530. We rejected that, so back in the range. Day count I set up to back to consolidation 18. 8 days above the 8 EMA, 21 days above the 21 EMA. The expectations are positive. Pretty much we gapped up, sold off, then moved higher. Sorry, we gapped up, sold off a little bit, moved higher to 5,999, and then selling boosted by Trump and Elon feud. Strong sectors, bond yields are up, so bonds were down. Communications, silvers, copper, China, oil and gas were up. Mag 7, dollar, RK, Bitcoin, and quantum were down. In Grow, we offensive trimmed Netflix into strength, trimmed HIMS and Palantir into weakness, and sold Tesla and SSO. 1.14 beta, 3.69% open heat. In Turbo, we sold Tesla and Palantir. Those were two of our biggest positions, so that definitely added on to the 1.91% down day. We also added to RKLB. So let's look at those names. First one is Netflix, 3 ATR above the 21 EMA. Decided to trim 50% of that. HIMS, see this huge failed breakout, bearish engulfing, 2 days of lower lows, and we decided to trim some of that and grow. Palantir, failed breakout so far, back below left side peak. This is a failed breakout on volume and below the 21 EMA. Tesla, just huge down day. Highest volume in 1 year, breaks below this shelf, back below 200 as well, and 300 level. This is completely off the list for now. And then SSO, not SOO on the tail of the tape. Bearish engulfing, just reducing some exposure from being overweight there. In Turbo, Tesla and Palantir, same reasons for selling. It's horrible action. But Rocket Lab, we decided to add a little bit against the 21 EMA, and that closed near highs of the day. And after I was actually up 4%, we brought that up to a 5% size. And with the with the Elon and Trump feud, and Trump threatening to take away Elon's contracts, and Elon threatening back that he's decommissioning the Dragon spacecraft, people are saying SpaceX could lose some revenue. He's damaging the reputation of SpaceX, and Rocket Lab is a potential second alternative for rocket ships and launching crafts into orbit. So this is up 4% after hours. Pretty much the bottom line is Elon and Trump divorce fuels a huge distribution day. And this is for Friday's keys, not Thursday's keys. S&P versus the 15-day range, same thing, 58.43 to 6,000. And Qs watching this range, 511.93 to 530. And that is it with the tail of the tape. Let's get into some of the 21 over 21 list. And honestly, let's start off with Tesla, which is down the most today. Actually, CoreWeave is actually down the most today. So we'll start with CoreWeave. CoreWeave, super extended, down 17% today. It's around the 5-ish MA area. This might not be done yet. Maybe it finds support and then continues higher and blows off. Or this could be the top. Gap down, fade. And this is it after making a 300% plus move. It's gapping down another 3% after hours. Tesla closed the day down 14%, down another 2.7% after hours. At the lows, it was down over 17%. Broke all key moving averages today. The 150-day, 21, 200, and 50. This is horrible action. Relative strength line has plummeted and is the highest volume selling in 1 year. And yeah, so Elon's definitely not benefiting his company by engaging in this huge political fights, especially with the president of the United States. But Elon will do Elon. He'll call it as he wants. And he's really not motivated by the money or the damages towards the stock. We'll see what happens. Kalshi gambling markets are saying there's a 26% chance that Elon's removed as CEO now. And investors are definitely unhappy with his recent actions. Palantir, people are saying that. So Palantir is down 7.7%, down another 1% after hours. There's some news coming out that Palantir is gathering people's data and creating like a digital footprint or digital card or identity for everyone in the United States. People clearly do not like that, and they're working in conjunction with the Trump administration. And that's sold off on volume, double top, triggered, failed breakout, and below the 21 EMA. I have it also sold off as a risk asset in this Trump and Elon feud. This area is kind of equivalent to 100,000 on Bitcoin. So far, Bitcoin's trading at 101.3. So we did bounce a little bit. So we'll see how this builds out. This could just build out a handle before we continue higher. HIMS continues lower low, third lower low, closed right at the 21 EMA. So those are the top four biggest losing stocks. We'll go with Boeing too, just pulling back. So that's acting normal. On the upside, Toast acted really well. Broke out this flag, but got rejected by this 44 area. Toast still looks good, breaking out this flag, and we'll have to see there's follow through. Triple-digit earnings in the last 4 quarters, double-digit revenue growth, and this is literally in every store. Spotify continues higher to new all-time highs. Just amazing action from Spotify out of the double bottom base breakout, and then it's taking off here. Zscaler continues to follow through. Amazing action after earnings, exactly what you want to see. And out of this base breakout, it's made quite a nice move, almost 50% move. Bros is acting strong as well. Let's squat it. Try to break out on volume. Squad so far. Netflix, of course, we trimmed. Duolingo showing relative strength, holding in there, putting in this really tight flag. Chewy pretty much makes a new high today as well. AS flags after the earnings gap and it's consolidating really tight, showing relative strength today as well. hood, briefly makes a new high, but squats back in, reverses off the volatility in the markets on volume as well. Another name that's on the 21/21 showed RS Uber, bounced off the 82 level, curling back up, retesting the 21 EMA, and it's on volume today too. So watching this name, it kind of just got a little extended. If you can get back above 87, that'd be a great sign. So with that being said, the main takeaway today, Trump and Elon feud caused enormous volatility in the markets like we saw in Tesla. We'll see how this relationship plays out, but after the back and forth, after Elon bringing up that Trump supposedly was in the Epstein files, this relationship seems irreparable at this point, or irreparable at this point. And as some people are saying, it's political suicide for Elon and could be very hard on his businesses as he lost the Democrats and now lost the Republicans. So with that being said, we'll continue to manage risk. Price is always truth. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end the video now. If you're interested in becoming a client or have any questions on what we do, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com or you can email dan@don@revereasset.com. My Twitter or X is Ted H. Zhang. Phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. Our website's revereasset.com. YouTube is Revere Asset. And if you like this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe. That really helps us with the algorithms and helps us get our videos and content and message to more people in the world. And we really appreciate that. That being said, I'm going to wrap it up. This is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week. And tune in for tomorrow's podcast. I'll also be doing the video tomorrow as well. Todd has the weekend video. And actually, we will be launching YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and probably a sole centralized X account for Revere Asset Management where we will be posting shorts as well. So stay tuned for that. And we would love for you guys to check that out, give us feedback, share it. And we're really excited about that initiative. So have a good rest of your week.